Okay, mic check. We got the baby mic. Because it's getting mature. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Gia. If you're new here, if you're not new here, welcome back. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, depending on when you're watching this. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that because it's nothing but good vibes over here, okay? 2023 was definitely a year of personal introspection for me. I feel like this year was the year I really learned to sit down. This felt very, I'm gonna say heavy. 2023 felt very heavy. If you're into numerology like me, you know that 2023 was a 7 year. If you're not into numerology and you don't really know what that means, let's go ahead and get to it. So in numerology, the number 7 is kind of tied to faith, spirituality, things like that. God created the earth in 7 days. There's something really special about the number 7 when it comes to spirituality, really focused on our inner work and making sure that we know ourselves first before we take action outward. This year, I really learned how to sit with my emotions and actually process things before I have reactions. I feel like I used to be a person where I was very reactive, but now I'm more inclined to just sit, process what I'm going through, and then react to it based on the way I process. Since I also learned to really sit back and think about what I actually desire outside of the monetary symbols of success. I think a lot of times as a creative, I get caught up in the followers, the attention, the recognition, instead of the creative process itself. And this year really showed me that it doesn't matter what's going on outside of you, that you really have to focus on yourself and make sure that you're being accountable for the things that you want to happen, because nothing's going to happen if you don't take action, if you're not doing the things that you need to do in order to get to the goal that you're trying to accomplish. We can get so caught up in the symbols of success rather than the actual success itself or the steps it requires to get to that success. This year was like a year where I was more so focused on the process. I really didn't care about the outcome. I was more so focused on actually doing the thing. A lot of the time I'm looking for outward validation, but this year I learned that it doesn't matter how much outward validation you have if you're not validating yourself. Is that maturity? Because it's getting mature. So rewinding a little bit more back to the numerology thing, if 2023 was a 7 year, what does that make 2024? So 2024 is considered an 8 year, and 8 is all about authority, taking action, really stepping into that energy of standing on business, okay? I'm not an astrologer, I'm not a predictor, but I really just think that next year in 2024 in general is just going to be full of people really taking action and taking the steps that they want to take to accomplish their goals. At least for me personally, that's what I'll be doing. This year was giving very much hermit mode. It was giving very much let's build, let's figure out what best way to go about things. But next year is all about thinking less and acting more. We've already got the thought process down. We know the methods, we know the systems, we know what works for us now, right? Okay, so now we need to move forward and actually start getting stuff done. No more of that I wish I was here, I wish I was doing better. No more comparing myself to other people. No more comparing myself to where I think I should be, where I thought I would be by this age. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. The lessons that you're learning where you are currently are lessons that you're gonna need going forward. You need to think of where you are now as the foundation instead of the final project, because a foundation is just as important as the actual building. You know what I mean? I had a lot of eras this year. I solo traveled for the first time. I went on a whole bunch of vacations in the summer. I started social media managing. I started freelance work. So there was just a lot going on. I found myself over and over and over again all throughout the year. There's a lot of beauty in accommodating your newness. To learn how to accommodate for where you are now, you have to learn how to shift your life as you shift rather than being rigid with the outcomes. If you're constantly comparing the things you needed now to the things you needed last year, when you don't accommodate for yourself, you're kind of trying to fit puzzle pieces together that are from two different boxes. So you really have to learn how to change and adapt your needs, adapt your wants to where you are currently and be realistic with it. Next year, I really want to appreciate the me of today, appreciate where I am now, and really practice mindfulness, because before you know it, like, your era is over. Before you know it, the trip is over, the project is over, the event is over. And so you really have to practice mindfulness, because before you know it, it's over. So I want to celebrate my wins more. I feel like I I'm constantly moving the goalposts for myself. I don't know if anyone else does this, but I'm constantly moving the goalposts for myself. Like, I went on 4 international trips this year, and I'm just like, like, I could have did better. You know what I mean? And so instead of feeling that way, I want to recognize like the privilege that I have, the opportunities that I have, and really bask in that. I need to like get it together and appreciate the things that I have while I have them, when I have them, instead of comparing myself to others or comparing myself to my idea of what I should be doing. I work really hard to achieve my goals, and so I want to celebrate myself and really like give myself that pat on the back. That's really what helps you build confidence. When you know you can accomplish something, you celebrate it, and you look back and you reflect and you're like, oh my gosh, I really did the thing. It builds confidence. It helps you be more confident in the things you're doing going forward, and it helps you be more confident in yourself. You can't speak about goals in 2024 without planning, am I right? If you've been here, if you be here for real, you know that I'm a planner girly. Like, we all know that Gia's a planner girly, and so what better way to bring in the new year than plan the whole thing? I know it's a bit unhinged to like plan your whole year, but it's okay. Don't worry, we're not doing the whole year. I'm still implementing the 12-week year in 2024. If you don't know what the 12-week year is, I'm gonna do a little bit of explaining, but if you want a full in-depth explanation, go ahead and watch my 12-week year video. I'll either put it in the cards or in the description down below. I actually just saw a TikTok that told me that this is not considered the 12-week year, but quarterly planning actually. So I implement the 12-week year, but I want to start with quarterly planning first, because I really want to map out my whole year. Like, I want to know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, because I'm a planner girly, and I truly believe that a girl with a plan is a girl who's unstoppable. So before we get into the planning portion, the 12-week year is a goal setting method that disregards the traditional 12-month calendars. You can start the 12-week year at any point in time. You know, you could start it in March, you could start this in July. It doesn't have to be started in January. I'm just personally starting mine in January. Get out of the mindset that, oh, like, it's January, it's time for me to change everything about me. And then you get to June and you're like, oh, I didn't do anything. Instead of focusing on the whole year at once, you focus on those 12-week periods. If you do it aligned with the calendar, then you end up with 4 quarters. And I like to align my 12-week year with the calendar, because I like to do a combination of the 12-week year and quarterly planning. We will be doing both, and let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, everyone. The first thing you're gonna need is a place to plan. I love me a digital planner, so I'm gonna be using my iPad. You can start mapping out quarter 1 with personal, professional, and financial goals. There's definitely other categories you can do, like spiritual or wellness goals. These are just like the ones I like to focus on, because these are the ones that require the most action and effort to me personally. I recommend setting 2 to 3 hard goals for each quarter or 12-week year. You can also pick like 3 to 5 habits that you want to implement during the period. You can keep these goals as vague or as detailed as you want, but obviously the more detailed the better. Some goals I set are to save up $3,000, go to the gym twice a week, and I want to creative direct 2 photo shoots. Once you have your quarters done, you can then take that as a blueprint and apply it to your 12-week year. This is when you really dissect your time and decide when and what you'll be doing to reach the goals you're setting. I like to do 4-week rotations of plan, prep, execute, and review. And if you follow this, you'll end up doing that rotation 3 times. I feel like this helps me stay efficient, because I know exactly how much I'm getting done and when it'll be done by. I then went back to map out the remaining quarters so that when they come up, I know what to focus on for my next 12-week year. All right, you guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. Once again, if you aren't subscribed, please, please, please go ahead and subscribe. turn on your post notifications, leave a like, and go ahead and comment if you have any questions, concerns, or statements. Anyway, Happy New Year's, everyone.